Hello everyone, I'm Adrifting, and today I have a very unique mystery web novel to talk about called A Letter from the Future Every Day. The Chinese title is 每天一封来自未来的信. Um, the author is 船长 or captain or class leader. And it's a very unique web novel based on its premise of a future diary, a future mystery. A lot of web novels like to do future diaries or future messages, usually a text message. The two titles that come to mind is I received a text message from the future. Is it reasonable for me to earn tens of billions? Or um, there was another one called Before the College Entrance Examination, I sent a text message 20 years later. So, a common theme with a lot of these future message web novels is that obviously our main character doesn't believe it. Our main character's name is Jiang Feng, and obviously they're college students. Um, but one thing that made this specific uh, future diary message web novel unique um, is both like the character premise, the mysteries, the way it operates, and the fact that it goes beyond your classic do-over regressor web novel. Because a lot of do-over regressor web novel is very urban fantasy wish fulfillment, where you want to get wealthy and rich, and it tells that story. Before the college entrance examination, I sent a text message 20 years later, was pure wish fulfillment, something like losing money to be tycoon. But this web novel operates on a little bit of a different level due to its harem and relationship aspects. It kind of is similar to giving Heart of Steel to a weak girl. A lot of that has to do with some mystery, urban fantasy, supernatural aspects. Going through stories similar to Erased, or Stein's Gate in terms of its future diary mystery, whereas Stein's Gate revolves around the present, sending messages to the past that changes, the present and future. This one has a lot of future messages sent to the present to try and change the coming future. So very similar in that vein with reading Steiner and trying to change that future. And Jiang Feng has to understand the mysteries and intricacies of this future diary, because obviously, most characters when they receive these messages don't believe it, right? With the Nigerian prince scam and a lot of these fake messages and spam messages online that usually comes with text messages, a lot of our main characters obviously don't believe it unless they're confronted with some evidence or facts, as we saw in I Received a Text Message from the Future, or before the college entrance examination, I sent a text message from 20 years later. And even I lived in Nanjing, right? That science fiction web novel. There is an establishment of trust where the main character has to undergo like that sort of testing and slowly figure it out. I'll give you the quick excerpt or introduction to the web novel. And the introduction is to the 18-year-old me. I'm you from the future. My current life is a mess, and I regret the choices I've made in my past life very much. In order to prevent me from making the same mistakes in the past, write this letter to you with great regret. And almost every single message is sent like this. The main plot is that he only can receive 31 messages because that's just how long the diary lasts from December 1st to December 31st. So that there is this timeline, and it makes the story relatively contained. The current chapter is a chapter 180, but I don't foresee this going past chapter 250. So this is going to be a relatively short but sweet mystery web novel. And as I said before, there's a little bit of romance, relationship, slight harem, flower protector, and um, is one of the tags, but it's very unique in the way it navigates these relationships and mysteries, and I'll discuss some of the characters in a little bit. So on December 1st, you will fall and sprain your ankle during physical education class, PE. Remember, you can go to the on-campus health room, basically the doctor's office, or even take a leave of absence, but don't go back to the classroom. Now, obviously, our main character, Jiang Feng, being like 18-year old in like this high school college environment, is kind of stupid, and he doesn't really believe this message, even though it's on paper and it's a future diary. He kind of doesn't believe this is him from the future. He goes back and he sees his classmate Xuezu just live streaming, right? Because it's the era of TikTok and Twitch. And it's very unique because this is where the mystery begins. We see a lot of this diary metaphysics interactions begin, starting with this first interaction with his classmate. He slowly becomes entangled with all these mysteries of Sung Mo Li, so Xuezu's adopted sister, obviously his teacher, policewoman, a policeman, Lu Ming. So there's like various murder mysteries and various future events that he has to try and prevent. So it's not just pure wealth accumulation, like losing money to be tycoon, where you slowly become wealthy and rich operating this company. He does eventually become rich with his future knowledge. He operates the Hurricane Group and he becomes this conglomerate, stock trading and whatever. But most of this is revolved around um, the mysteries that lead up to it, because the messages he can send to himself in the past are limited. He can only send to himself certain financial pieces of information, and even that's relatively obscured. And he only has 31 days to do this. So a lot of these mysteries operate on a short time frame, trying to change this future, similar to Steins Gate or Erased, where a lot of events are happening, and he is trying to prevent it. Various murders, um, various celebrities are involved. Um, and a lot of this is intertwined with parallel universes and future events that just constantly interact with Jiang Feng's character. And then, obviously, due to all of these misunderstandings, he gets involved in a lot of these romantic relationships, trying to solve all these future events and trying to prevent them from happening. Right? He's trying to break this future cycle in a similar way to how Steins Gate is trying to prevent a certain timeline from happening. And so Letter from the Future Every Day is just very unique in the way it navigates these mysteries, in a similar way to like Mirai Nikki, where it's like, future diary and text messages. And it makes for a very unique web novel, just because it operates on this urban fantasy mystery aspect, right? There's a lot of science fiction, there's a lot of these future events um, that happen, and Zhang Feng is just like is kind of like this urban fantasy like superhero, and it's just so distinct and unique from like your regular do-over regressor web novel, that just made this super special. So that's a letter from the future every day. I don't have too much to say here, but yeah, it's written by Captain or Chuanzong, and we'll stop here.